They didn't know about it.
Yeah. So
the microphone has picked up the hooter. So play is about to be started. Halifax have chosen to go down what is a slight incline here at Bowerfold in the lime green and black. Oldham obviously in the traditional red and white hoops, blue shorts, red and white hoop stockings. And they've got the kick-off, and it's Scott Turner who's about to get play underway. He hoists the ball high and deep, and it's landing in front of the Halifax post. It's gathered by Halifax, and a good chase by Oldham immediately with 3 tacklers there, putting the lad to ground. One of the main contributors being Sam Wood. Halifax, they've spilled the ball immediately on the second play, and Leatherbarrow tries to play on, but the referee says it's back to 0. That was the 0 tackle. So here come Oldham, already in the Halifax 20, going forward there in the shape of Adam Neal, who's tackled 20 metres short of the Halifax line. Leatherbarrow has the ball. He puts the ball inside to Hewitt. Hewitt gives it to Luke Adamson. I think Adamson spills the ball. Indeed he does. And you wouldn't think it was a day for spilling balls. It's perfect, heat-wise, but certainly no cold hands, no wet surface, and yet in the first minute of the match we've had a knock-on from either team. So it's going to be head and ball to Halifax, 10 metres out from their own try line, 20 metres in from their right wing. And the ball out already, and a good tackle there from Oldham's number 11, Jack Spencer, helped by 2 mates. The Halifax lad stands up, plays his ball. They've chosen to go left. Another good tackle led by Danny Langtree. Put the man on the floor. He stands up, plays his ball. They're coming the other way. It's so far 1 pass, 1 man rugby so far. They make about 5 yards from that particular set. Here they come again. They've just about to cross, and no, they don't make it into the Oldham half of the field before the lad is wrestled to the ground. It took some time. I think that's the 4th tackle of the set. Here come Halifax. Are we going to have an early kick? No, that's Scott Leatherbarrow, I think. No, Danny Langtree, who was in so quickly. The referee raises his hand. It's the 5th tackle. Halifax choose to run the ball rather than kick it. And they nearly all... Are they good? Now it's a little chip through. And Scott Turner has retrieved the ball near his own try line. He brings the ball away, makes the 10 before he's tackled by 3 Halifax players. He'll stand up and play his ball. And Lepori went to action half-back. Adam Clay, as is customary, comes in from his wing, takes the ball further, another 5 metres. And somebody's hurt here. Adam Clay stayed down after the tackle, and immediately the physio is on, and the water carriers. I think we'll have a lot of work for the water carriers today, David.
I'm sure they'll be on at every opportunity, both teams.
So Adam Clay is all right. He's standing up, a swig of water, and now he plays his ball. And Richard Lepori is acting half-back. No, they're waiting for the water carriers to clear the pitch. Lepori goes straight away. He breaks 1 tackle, doesn't break the second. Kenny Hughes interfering at the play of the ball. So a free kick to Oldham. Leatherbarrow has the ball. Let's hope he can make a decent distance. We'll know exactly because he's on the 40 red line, and he crosses into the just past the 40 on the other side. So that's about 43 metres gained with a kick, which is good. So here come Oldham. Number 19, Joe Burke, drives the ball in. He stands up, he'll play his ball. Kenny Hughes, attacking half-back, spins the ball to his right. Hewitt has it, puts the ball to Leatherbarrow. Lepori joins the line. George Tyson spills the ball, unfortunately. I think it's Warrancy out there. Warrancy's tackled. The referee has deemed something's happened. I don't know what. He said it's a scrum down, head and ball to Oldham, which is a bit of a surprise to me, David.
It'll do us.
Certainly a surprise to the Halifax players, but the referee's word is gospel. So it's head and ball to Oldham, 20 metres in from their right-hand touchline, and about 20 metres away from the try line.
So good performance so far by Oldham.
Yeah, neither team in any hurry to get packed down. They do so now. The ball is in the hands of Hewitt. Hewitt gives the ball inside to Sam Wood. Sam Wood drives in, makes another 5 metres. Kenny Hughes puts the ball to the short side to Luke Adamson. Luke Adamson still going forward. but on his back, 10 metres away from the try line. Kenny Hughes spins the ball now, a long pass to Hewitt. Hewitt puts the ball to Leatherbarrow. Leatherbarrow to Danny Langtree came in on a short run. Now we've gone to the short side. Tyson working his way through. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4 Halifax players to stop him. Looking for the ref's hand. No, he's not put it up as yet. So Leatherbarrow has the ball. He's chosen to run it. Hewitt, a little kick through. Who's going to get there first? It's a Halifax player who gets there first and decides to take the ball over the dead ball line. So it'll be a drop kick from Halifax.
I hope we're not going to kick every time into that corner.
Well, we did last week, Dave,
yeah, we got too much of a routine.
Yeah, it's absolutely predictable if you do it every time. The referee has stopped the clock for some reason. I think simply because he thinks that the Halifax players are taking too long to get on with it. Blows his whistle, play restarts. Here comes the kick. It crosses the halfway line. It bounces high. Eventually, I think an Oldham player almost spilled the ball then. It was Adam Neal who almost spilled the ball, but he takes the ball into the Halifax half. Here come Oldham in the form of Jack Spencer. Spencer crosses the red zone. He's tackled. Kenny Hughes looks to his right. I think he'll come left. No, he's gone right. Danny Langtree, second row forward, running in really well. The crowd are a bit vocal for Oldham at the top end of the field, which is nice to hear. Another free kick to Oldham, interfering at the play of the ball. They're close enough for kicking. Are they going to choose to kick? No, it looks like they're going to run it. And indeed, that's what they do. Danny Langtree takes the ball forward. It was almost pedestrian though, David. He didn't come from any depth at all.
It was level with the passer, and it's stationary. So
play continues, and Joe Burke has the ball. Offside against Halifax. I think that's. Or was it? No, it's a forward pass, and it's a head. I thought he'd signalled offside, but it was a forward pass. Another scrum down, head and ball to Halifax, 10 metres away from their own try line. Has play been in this half yet, Dave, apart from the kick-off?
I think maybe, a little bit. But the thing got to say, we turned down 2 points. If you're turning down 2 points on the kick, you've got to do better than we just did then.
Correct. Right, play's underway again. Halifax coming away from their own try line, level with the post, centre of the field. Danny Langtree amongst the tacklers, helped out by Jack Spencer. Oldham were quick off the mark then to make the tackle. It is if they put him down, which they do so eventually. Put the lad on his back just to slow things that extra second or two. Third tackle gone. Ball is spilled. Oldham come away with it. Sam Wood has the ball. He stands up. Now he plays the ball. It's a fumbling sort of match, Dave, and it ought not to be. Oldham with 15 metres to go to the try line. Leatherbarrow has the ball to Hewitt. Hewitt puts the ball inside to Luke Adamson. Adamson is tackled. They've gone to the long side as expected. Hewitt has the ball. Adam Neal comes running at an angle. The referee says get back behind the try line, which they do. Here comes Hewitt. Puts the ball to Leatherbarrow. Leatherbarrow, it's a poor pass, and Halifax have got the ball, and it's a good job that it was a shot. Who passed that ball, David? Was it Hewitt? It was a shocker.
It was a dismal one.
Here comes Warranty on the far side of the field for Halifax. Oh dear me, that was poor. Anyway, Warranty's put on his back. Halifax with the ball and threatening, coming down the field. Good tackle again by 3 Oldham players, led by Jack Spencer. The ball comes to the long side. Halifax have the ball. They've decided to run it. It's a little dummy by them, but it comes to naught. Now they've come to the blind side. Number 17 for Halifax. They haven't got a 7. Yes, it's Brandon Moore who has the ball. 5th tackle, says the referee. Halifax are in the 20. What they're going to do, they've decided to run it. And they slip the ball, and they nearly get over the try line. They did well to slip the ball from that tackle, David.
I thought it'd been stopped and that the ball had taken the ball down. But so I was very surprised to see a Halifax man threatening the Oldham line with the ball in his hands.
Adam Clay on totally the wrong wing is over on the left wing, bringing the ball away. Here come Oldham again. Adam Clay has it for the second time, and he really got his head rattled in. His head went backwards.
The defender set himself there, just set his legs, cushioned himself up.
Lepori looks different. Has he had his head shaved or something?
Yeah, he looks it.
Yeah. Oldham in possession in the red and white hoops.
Shaved and reshaped, I think.
Yeah. So what will Oldham do? Number 19 has it. That's Joe Burke. It's upended just short of the halfway line. 5th tackle already. The ball is in the hands of Leatherbarrow. Leatherbarrow kicks it. It's a grubber kick along the floor. It bounces into the hands of Warrancy, the speed merchant. All is made 50 yards, but it's all been cross field. So we can do that all day, hopefully, before he's hauled down by 3 Oldham players. He stands up, plays his ball, and they've come to the short side again. It's a good tackle by Hewitt and 2 other Oldham players. Halifax coming down the field, just crossed into the red zone, 10 metres short of the halfway line, right centre position. Spin the ball, 1-man rugby. Oh, a good tackle there. Don't let him slip the ball out. No, they don't. The referee insists the Oldham players get back the full 10. Remember, it's a swelteringly hot day here at Bowerfold. Number 1 for Halifax, Ben Johnson, who's actually playing at scrum half, nearly broke the line. It's an early kick. It's a high kick. Who's underneath it? Laporte's underneath it, gathers it cleanly, comes running away, makes good ground. He crosses the halfway line almost before he's taken down. He plays his ball quickly. Here comes George Tyson. George Tyson breaking through, tackle after tackle. We're 40 metres away from the try line. 4 tackles to go in this particular set. Adam Clay goes from action half-back, comes away from the try line to make touch line to make sure he doesn't get put into touch. Hewitt has the ball, gives the ball to Luke Adamson. Adamson carries on to pump those legs forward despite the attentions of 2 Halifax players. The ball is now with Hewitt. Hewitt gives it to Joe Burke. Joe Burke is tackled. The referee says 5th tackle. Please don't kick it. Oh, it's a high kick at least this time.
Yeah, but the man on the wing didn't know it was going to be a high kick.
Straight into touch.
Yep.
So on the 6th tackle near their try line, Oldham have kicked it on
twice.
Both occasions.
Yep. Right, OK, well, 10 minutes gone, Gerald. This time last week we were 18 points to 0 up.
We were indeed.
But
the current
today,
score is 0-0.
0-0. So it's Halifax in possession. Just inside their own 10-metre line, trying to cross. A couple more yards gained. Oh, I don't know whether to be metric or imperial today. I struggle with this. So, out at the 20, Halifax in possession. Gets up, it's their big number 8, Mitch Calhoun. Knock on, the referee calls, scrum down, Oldham's head and ball, and it's just, 2-3 metres outside the Halifax 20. Lepori comes and situates himself on the wing at this side. Out wide.
Drinks galore taken onto the field,
Well, they'll
David.
need it, put it this way, you need to be taking in plenty of fluid in this one, not particularly for the first half, but that second half of the second half.
Yeah.
So, it's Oldham's head and ball. Down goes the pack, ball goes in, picked up by the loose forward for Oldham, slung out to the side, then goes off, goes number 17 for Oldham, no way through for him on that occasion, that's Lepori. And off we move on to 14, driving forward, Luke Adamson, put down 10 yards short of, 12 yards short of the Halifax try line, gets up, plays his ball, acting half-back. That's the Oldham's 21. Oh, I can't spell, Matt. Can he use? Of course it is. Ball way out to the wing, picked up over his bootlaces. Can he get the ball down? No, I think we'll have to...
We'll wait for the... No, he's not.
No, he's just... He's indicating something. Scrum down, head and ball to Halifax. Forward pass must have been.
Or a knock on over the line, Dave.
Well, would it have been our head and ball? Anyway, so it's scrum down, Halifax head and ball. Referee stops the clock while the teams get ready. The pass out towards the wing was a bit of a wing and a prayer one, wasn't it, really? It was picked up on his boot. Well, he did very well to gather it. It was on his bootlaces, and he was almost running doubled up to get there. Get there he did. Unfortunately, having gone into such an unusual position to catch the ball, unable to just get over the line and get the ball to ground in one move. However, if we're right that he called forward pass to give the scrum down to Halifax, there's going to be a long pauses in this game.
Has he stopped
he stopped the clock while everybody takes a drink of water on.
There was one occasion at Whitebank, if you remember, they did actually stop the game after 20 for an actual water break, didn't they?
Yep, they did. I vaguely remember that match, yeah. And it wasn't nowhere near as hot then as it is today.
No.
Yeah. So, Sam G's water carrier today.
Well, I like to
He's got
see
a new
Sam.
shape to his beard.
Yeah. And,
So, ball's back in action. Halifax in possession. Try to carry the ball out, put to ground, centre of the field, 10 yards from their own try line, play the ball. First man charges forward, 2 Oldham players tackle, down to the ground he goes, on the 20. Halifax get up, acting half-back, lifts the ball inside. No way through for him on that occasion. That was Brandon Moore, the man that was at first in line. A little kick over the top now. Lapori chases back, lets to see if that ball's going to run dead. Lets it run dead indeed. Well done, Lapori. Because there was no way he was going to pick that ball up and make any ground. A tap on the 20. Oldham get the ball up to their 20. And kicked it dead. It's Oldham's 21. Kenny Hughes takes the tap and offloads the ball. Charge forward. 9 yards gained on that particular drive. Gets up, plays the ball. One to the right, into the arms of Oldham's number 11, Jack Spencer. He drives in. Couple of tackles and somehow manages to move forward on his knees a good extra 5-6 yards. Oldham cross the halfway line, centre of the field, just to the right of the centre as the ball comes across into first passing, moving at speed. And that was unfortunate there from an Oldham point of view. The first one, who was it that broke through? Oldham's 12, yeah. Langtree broke through.
But again, it was a poor pass, really.
It was on bootlaces, wasn't it? He's looking for it to slip the ball inside because he was being caught and was about to go down. Slipped the ball inside, but unfortunately it was at ground level and Oldham couldn't hold on. So knock on for Halifax head and ball. 15 yards inside the Halifax half of the field. Ball goes back, a long ball back. And comes up. Two Oldham men, stop him in his tracks, gets up, plays his ball, straight from acting half-back, a charge forward, gained 10 yards into the Oldham half, no way through on him there, put to ground, Oldham up, still 0-0 the score. I forgot we better mention that because people joining us late. Where have you been? And have you got a note from your mum? If not, see me after the match. Sorry, Joe. Old habits die hard. As Halifax in possession, didn't really know where to go. The Oldham defence came in, smothered the Fax man, put him to ground, gets up, plays his ball forward, big prop forward. That looked to be very adjacent. 5th tackle, says the referee. Fax are 15 yards inside the Oldham half, coming out towards their right-hand side, into the arms of number 6. High kick, that looks to be going straight into touch. Yes, it was. And one of the Halifax men trying to come past Oldham's Dave Hewitt ended up being guided.
In the crowd, didn't he?
Being guided. Well, he was determined.
Number 38.
I'll let you find it. Conor McGrath. So Oldham now take the penalty, take possession, 15 yards short of the halfway line. The game's 10. Lapori must be a hot knife through butter today. Yes. He's up and away and straight quickly from acting half.
David, he stayed down.
Oh dear me, why did I say anything? Should have just kept my mouth shut. So,
I see Oldham is the back of his left leg.
All right, well, referee stops the clock and the water carrier comes on. Is that physio now looking at him? Be a great shame if we
not happy,
we do.
Is he?
No, it normally bounces up like an India rubber.
It does.
Lapori, if he's staying down, he's certainly tweaked something. And the way he's been playing today would be sorely missed if he goes off. We've been playing on 17 minutes of this game. 0-0 scores on the doors. Almost a quarter of the game gone. And both teams had... Well, Oldham have had the best opportunities, haven't they?
They have.
The kicks.
I think Halifax have been down here 3-4 times, whereas a lot of the pressure has been
up at the top end of the field. And Oldham, if there is a slope that has any advantage here at Bowerfold, Oldham have that advantage in the second half.
Well, there's certainly no wind advantage today. It's absolutely still, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The other thing that I was saying about advantage, trouble is that sometimes that when you're kicking the ball forward, if it's kicking uphill, it's likely to stop rather than roll on.
Lapori's up on his feet. The signal is okay to play on. Don't hook it, he's limping still.
Yeah, but he won't be in a minute.
So it's limpy
Lippy Lapori.
Yeah, he's going to play his ball anyway, David.
Sorry?
He's going to play his
Oh,
ball
right, I
now.
better start the clock watch, the stopwatch, otherwise it'll be... and we start that off as 17 minutes of the first half gone. 0-0 scores on the doors. Oldham swing the ball out to the right-hand side into the arms of Adam Neal. He drives in, put down just outside.
Laporte's coming on the wing, at least temporarily, David.
Yeah, well, he can
He's
barely
still
run.
limping. They want him to run it off. I don't know whether he will do.
What, run his leg off, I think. Oh, that blessed kick again. Go and tie his feet up, because that was straight down the throat of the chap from Halifax. And
Conor McGarth.
So that's 3 times we've kicked, and
Yes.
none of them have been a decent kick. But
2 high ones.
Perhaps we're trying to confuse Halifax into thinking that we'll kick there every time, and then on one occasion when somebody's gone across, I doubt it. Right, so it's Halifax in possession, the 15 yards short of the halfway line. Coming up, moving the ball out to the right, straight out to the winger. They took on Lapore there. Forward pass, said the referee. Lapore, he'll have to come off. The poor lad can barely walk, you know. I mean, it's not as if he comes off.
Well, if that hadn't been forward, it'd have been home and dry.
It would,
simply because
Lapore couldn't.
Lapore's limp would come that side of the field.
Yeah. And of course, being the nice, kind, friendly people that rugby league players are, you've got somebody injured, you run at them. They're the man that you target.
Lapore's come on the wing, hopping about.
Yep.
Scott Turner's gone to fullback, which he's used to. He's played there often enough.
Yep. So Lapore, but the trouble is, I mean, if Lapore gets isolated, there's absolutely nothing you can do. So Oldham in possession, driving forward on the far side of the field. No way through for Oldham's number 3, George Tyson. And the ball eventually comes to ground. Penalty to Oldham. Reaching out, should we say, raking the ball out of Tyson's arms. So
referee stop the clock.
Stop the clock for... Are we going for the kick post? What are we doing? Oh, no. Well, Tyson... Lapore's gone down. I do normally.
Lapore's still getting attention
here.
And plays continuing.
And, it's on the far side of the field. That's okay, according to rugby league. It's only if he gets in the way. So Oldham moving the ball along the line now into the arms of Scott Leatherbarrow. He charges in, put to ground. Gets up, plays his ball. Oldham's Kenny Hughes at acting halfback, but swings the ball along the line. No way through for Oldham there. Twisted, turned and dumped to the ground. The player in question being Joe Burke. Oldham play the ball, comes across. Short ball, gone to the arms, into the... Oh, dear me. With a lovely pass into... I can't... Is it Tyson again? Gets up, play the ball. Oldham's driving for the line. Is he over it? He is over it. Has he got the ball down? I can't see the referee.
It says he's held up, David.
He's held up on his back. I couldn't see because of one of the Halifax players stood right between me and the referee, and it's a dropout.
It was Scott Turner across the line, but held up over the line.
Oh, it's not. It was Oldham sent back. Dear me, I'm looking at the wrong. Surely that wasn't a kick.
That came to nothing.
If it was a kick, it was appalling because there was nobody ready for it. I think somebody wants to clip round the ear, to be honest, if this carries on. Anyway, Halifax have taken the tap. They've come up 10 yards short of the halfway line. Oldham with some defending to do, having been on top territorially in this game so far. So, Oldham, Halifax play the ball, driving forward, 10 yards short of the halfway line. 3 Oldham players put him to ground. Gets up, play the ball. The ball goes inside. Now out towards the far side for Halifax, who switched the ball from one side of the field to the other. The players coming in off the touchline, running along the front of the Oldham line, and eventually dumped down 10 yards inside the Oldham half. I thought that was the 5th tackle. Anyway, Halifax still in possession. It must be the 4th, but a high tackle, Oldham penalised. What's the bet? Halifax go for 2. Yep. Well, on a day like this, they're not doing. They're going to take the tap. They've taken the tap 10 yards outside the Oldham 20, driven it forward in form of the number 12, Simon Griggs, driving it forward into the Oldham 20. Another penalty right in front of the post for something that Oldham's number 10, Adam Neal. They're going for the drive. I'd have just taken the 2 points, but they must think that they can get over the Oldham line. The Halifax man was thrashing about on the floor. There was obstruction right in front of the post on the Oldham man. Halifax keeping the ball alive, and they've scored the try on that far side. I thought there were at least one or two suspicious moments there, Gerald. I don't know about you.
No, it all looked legitimate to me.
No, there was. I thought there was an obstruction in front of the post by one of the Halifax players as the Oldham player was coming across the park. However, they kept the ball alive, and Oldham's defence was stuck somewhere this side of the post.
Yeah.
So, Fax takes first score. Tell us about it while I write it down.
Right, well, I would if I knew who scored it. But one of the lads was actually tackled, turned on his knees and flicked the ball up, and then the receiver put the ball again to his left. The player running at an angle and puts the ball, I think it was the number 11, Shane Grady, who scored the try.
Thank you.
And the conversion attempt to come, the current score. Tell me who it was, sir.
I've no idea, but it came in. It could have been sharp, but I'm not. I don't
Okay.
think it was Grady. He
All
went
right.
down and pushed the ball on.
Right.
Into trouble.
I won't be in trouble.
And
What's my co-commentator's name?
Raymond Glendenning.
Right, okay. Did you want to do the boat race as well?
there goes the kick. It's between the posts.
Right, 6-0 to Halifax.
Stop getting friendly with the opposition, you. You come here to watch the wrong team. 20th minute, that try. Converted.
Converted try.
By
Oldham
who?
nil.
Converted by?
No idea. I was busy talking to Richard Glendenning. Raymond. Richard was his brother. Let's get on with the commentary.
Richard was the one that got fired for being hopeless. Right, who scored who was the kicker? You know these, the conversion.
Tyra.
There was a slight grin on his face.
Right, Oldham about to restart the match. Scott Turner put the ball on the kicking tee, puts the ball high. No, we're not Rocky, no. Right, so McGarth has the ball, bringing the ball away from the Halifax try line. Tackled by 3 Oldham players. Oldham have had more possession than Halifax, and yet they're on the wrong end of the score at the moment. 0 points to 6. And on 3 occasions when Oldham have had a chance near the Halifax line, they've chosen to kick each time. When Halifax got there, they ignored the kick, ran the ball, scored a try. It might have a message behind that somehow or other. Halifax continuing to spin the ball, and they break. No, they don't quite break the tackle of 3 Oldham players. Lepore is still limping out here, David. I can't see the sense in keeping him on. Anyway, here come Halifax. They've crossed into the Oldham half of the field. 5th tackle, says the referee. Halifax have the ball. It's a high, deep kick. Surely it's going to go dead eventually. Oh, it's not gone dead. It bounced the wrong way, and Adam Clay is tackled behind his own try line. I think you can't blame Clay.
No, you can't, but the body language of the Oldham players out there, 2 props and 2 second row forwards there, it was just, oh no, really? When we've got only halfway through the first half.
No, well, maybe you're reading it like a pessimist, Dave. I didn't see that myself.
You didn't look at the right players.
Oh, thanks for that. Well, I really do. Anyway, Kenny Hughes has the ball. He's going to drop the ball out from no, he isn't. He's giving it to Turner.
Do I get a cut in your feet?
Of course you do. You can. What percentage of nothing do you want? Right, Halifax coming forward. They've crossed into the Oldham half of the field. They're about 20-30 metres inside. They're looking handy on the far side of the field, and they're going to go over the line again, are they? No, the touch judge raises his flag. He was put into touch just before he scored the try. Thank goodness for that. So a couple of interchanges made by Halifax. Number 20 coming on for Halifax. That's Elliot Morris. So it's going to be a scrum down, head and ball to Oldham, 10 metres away from their own try line, 20 metres away from their right-hand touch line. Remember, they're coming up the hill in the searing heat of Bowerfold, Stalybridge. As is expected on a hot day, neither team in a rush to put their heads in the pack. They do so eventually. Leatherbarrow feeds the scrum. The ball is with Adam Clay. That's something else every time. Adam Clay comes inside and takes the ball up. Every single time. Anyway, Lepori on his good leg gains about 5 metres. The referee has given offside.
Yeah,
I think largely at the shout of the crowd, really.
I think he waited for the players to become involved in the match.
Leatherborough strikes the ball, gains about 40 metres. Well, exactly 40 metres, because it was from red zone to the other. Sam Wood puts the ball inside to Oldham's number 14, Luke Adamson. Gives the ball to our 26, Tyler Dickinson. I didn't see the interchange, but it's obviously happened. Hewitt puts the ball to Leatherborough across the line. Turner breaks through. Doesn't quite make it. It's looking a bit more lively now, Oldham, at this moment in time. Leatherborough runs on his own, gives the ball a short pass. Such a short pass to Tyler Dickinson. He couldn't do anything at all with that.
And the only advantage of that was that the player carrying the ball wasn't tackled.
Now the ball is with Oldham inside of the post. It's one-man rugby at the minute. Just one. The referee didn't like something. He spilled the ball. As he was playing the ball, scrum down, head and ball to Halifax, just inside the Halifax 10. Remember, the current score is Oldham 0, Halifax 6. And Richard Lepori still limping. Neither Dave nor myself can see the sense of him still being out there when we've got Gareth Owen out, who could do a job and put one of the other players on the wing. I don't know. Owen's coming on, but for who? Surely it has to be Lepori.
You'd hope so.
So Halifax have the ball, bringing the ball away from the run. He spilled the ball immediately, and Oldham dive onto it. Now then, we've got a full set of tackles to go and only 6 metres to go. My word, that was vicious tackling by Halifax. Come on, Oldham. Kenny Hughes attaching half-back. Gathers the ball, spins the ball to Leatherborough. Leatherborough puts the ball to Hewitt. Hewitt gives the ball to Turner. Turner dummies to his left, but he goes on his own. He's tackled by 3 Halifax players, dumped to the ground. Oldham's number 16, Sam Wood, acting halfback. A long pass to Hewitt. Hewitt gives the ball to Tyler Dickinson. Dickinson is tackled. They're not running from any depth. Here come Oldham again. Hewitt has the ball to Leatherborough. Leatherborough to Linetree. Linetree puts the ball inside. And oh my word, what a silly thing to do. Halifax, if they've got somebody with the correct speed, they'll make it all the way. They don't have. With 3 tackles to go in a particular set, Oldham's Scott Turner decides to flick the ball out of the back door. It went straight to a Halifax player. In 2 tackles, they've gone almost the full length of the field. They're inside the Oldham 20. And the
Harlem Globetrotters move, I think, there, General.
And the referee's given a penalty to Halifax for holding down, which he had to hold down so that the Oldham crowd couldn't get back. Michael Ward is on the field now in his yellow headgear. Halifax on the ascendancy. Going straight forward then. Number 20, Elliot Morris. He plays his ball. They've come to the short side. What they're going to do? A little short pass. And they managed to get the ball out. Now what will happen here? The referee waits.
He nearly took his head off. He nearly took his head off then.
Anyway, they've got 6 more to go, despite one of the Oldham players almost being decapitated. Halifax have the ball. Leatherborough doing the tackling. They're just meters short of the Oldham line, and they're already 6-0 up. They're over the line again here. Yes, they are. Because the Oldham tackling wasn't up to the job, and they've crossed the line just to the right of the post. An easily converted try this will be. The current score, Oldham 0, Halifax 10. A conversion attempt to come. And what you have to do to earn a penalty, I've no idea, because one of the Oldham players really had a chop across his throat. which the referee totally ignored.
And yet he was in a position. It was difficult to see from his point of view how he missed that. You know, the Oldham player was on the floor, and it was incredible.
Yeah. Anyway, this Oldham about to go 12-0 down, David, with what, 35 minutes gone approximately, I'd say? 35 minutes gone.
And again, we didn't get the... I took my eye off the score, and by the time I looked back to see who it was, he was surrounded by a whole host of Halifax
But we know
players.
it's number 3, Stephen Tyrrell, about to take the conversion attempt. And Davis is coming onto the field for Oldham. If only it was Alan Davis. That would be nice. Right, so here we go. Stephen Tyrrell going through what is probably his familiar routine.
Eminently kickable position, though.
Well, what did...
Waft it over with his cap.
Over with his cap. Anyway, he eventually strikes the ball. There it goes, over the crossbar, between the posts and into the woods behind the Bosch domestic stand at the bottom end of the field. So
Oldham 0.
With it all to do, David.
Oldham 0, Halifax 12. And we're in the 31st minute of the game. Oh, dear me.
That's according to your watch.
No, I've checked it with the timekeepers.
I
checked it, so we're bang on score line now. I'll just pause it for a minute because I think I was running it on them when I shouldn't have been. So you shouldn't leave me in charge of a working watch. Well, referee blows the whistle. The ball falls off the kicking tee. And Oldham to restart. Disappointing, really, because Oldham have played so well this first half and yet trailing by 12 points to 0.
It's white line fever, David. They get it every week.
As we hack the ball downfield from Scott Turner, picked up by Halifax. Ginger Head, Halifax player, carries the ball out up towards his 20. No way through there. There's tattle to the ground. Halifax in possession. We switched it along the line. There's a huge gap down the middle of the Oldham defence there. But we still got 13 on there because that gap, you could have driven a bus through it if you wish. Oldham dumped to the ground, and a little bit of use of head, I thought, there by Oldham's Ben Davis, but the referee happy. Perhaps he was just leaning on him and rested his head.
Rested his head
gently on his shoulders. So Halifax in possession, just inside their own half, coming down the centre of the field. They're using their big men to power forward. 5th tackle, says the referee. On the halfway line, Halifax. Here comes a little chip over the top. There's a chase on. There's a winger coming up for it. That ball went back. It was intercepted offside position. And really that was players not communicating with each other then. Either of those two Oldham players converging on that ball should have said, leave it, it's mine. They didn't. One went for it, took his eye off the ball onto the player that was coming into him.
Well, the decision's gone out.
Well, it's gone our way. No, it's gone our way.
Against Halifax, because they were offside. They were in front of the kicker and didn't give the receiver 5 metres.
I thought that when the first Oldham player knocked the ball, I thought he'd intercepted it in a forward pass.
If it hadn't been offside, it would have been a forward pass, David.
But, right, so... Oldham with a well, it should have been straight along that red and white line. It was adjacent. Now a drive in by an Oldham player who's buried under Halifax tattlers, gets up, plays his ball, comes to this side. It's Dave Hewitt, offloads to Oldham's Luke Adamson. He goes round 15 yards inside the Halifax half. Another drive forward by Oldham, this time in the form of Ben Davis, who's come on now, put the ball inside, ball along, and then third man in line drives forward, gains a couple of yards. 5th tackle, says the referee. Oldham in possession, moving out to the right-hand side. A high corp kick into that corner. Up goes the jumpers. Ball's been picked up by Halifax. The referee says, scrum down, Oldham's head and ball. Well, perhaps interference, perhaps a sympathy vote.
Mr. McMullen.
Yeah.
Well, the Oldham subs, Dave, have strangely got wet white towels over their heads if you look down to the left.
Well, presumably, if you come off with the blood pumping, you'll be pretty hot. Bit of water, but it cool the head because the water evaporating from the towel will drop the temperature. Oldham in possession, but really we didn't really look as if we were going to do anything there. The ball been played, and Michael Ward takes it, drives in, but players were solidly in front of him. No way through for Michael there. Long ball along the ground there. Goes into the arms of an Oldham player that's tackled in the process of taking possession, and Oldham is still 10 yards short. And the ball's gone to ground, picked up by Halifax. Referee says play on. Halifax move it out towards their left-hand wing, and then put down. First tackle goes. Halifax coming up towards the 20. Short ball into the middle. Two Halifax players, I thought, collided with each other, but they've knocked on. It's Oldham's head and ball. Michael Ward getting the high fives from the rest of his team.
We should be having high fives for scoring tries, not because the Halifax team knock on.
Second best.
Yeah.
We'll settle for that, I think. So the packs come together. The water carriers comes on, and we've checked towards half time. 5 minutes to go to half time. Oldham trailing by 12 points to 0.
A try would be nice, David.
It would be very nice as Oldham take the ball. It comes up to Oldham's Scott Turner. When I see the number 1, I go to say Lapori. I can't get used to changing numbers. So, Oldham in possession. 5 yards short of the try line. Gets up. Out in half-back, it's Gareth Owen. Moves the ball into the centre. Offloaded, and the ball's come out loose again. I can't believe the number of a good tackle there by Gareth Owen, but the referee says it was high. Well, if that was high, what about dear me? As myself and everybody else in the Oldham crowd point out the error of the referee's ways. Poor Mr. McMullen. You never live anything down. Kick for touch. It goes on to the roof of the Lord Tom Pendry stand on the far side, so new balls will be brought out, and it's 5 yards short of the halfway line. Halifax driving across the halfway line. Oldham tackling, pushes them back to the halfway line. Gets up, plays the ball for one, and dummy. Good job. Tyson just about got his fingertips there. Ball's gone out. It's gone forward. Just about went forward actually, and it was a Tyson, wasn't it, Gerald, with that tackle that just about managed to hang on to the bootlaces.
No, Tyson's over the far side. I think it was Langtree.
Is it like? Oh right, yes. Well, I've gone off the blonde hair. That was the thing. I'll have to stop doing that. So it was Langtree with the try-saving tackle, because there was nothing really between him and the post. The ball goes in. Oldham in possession, 10 yards inside their own half, driving up to the halfway line. That's where they get to. Adam Clay put down, gets up, plays his ball, comes along the short side, a drive forward. Another 10 yards game. Two good, decent drives forward here on this. Ball played again. Another drive to come from Oldham's Danny Langtree. Release of the ball, comes back out to this touchline on the far side of this near side. Off goes Oldham 16 Sam Wood. Ball's come out, gone to ground. The referee says play on, get inside the field of play as Oldham's fullback. Not fullback for today, but anyway, ball moved on. Oldham in possession. Turned the ball. A good dummy there. Ooh, almost so for a moment, Dave Hewitt. But no way through for him there. Oldham pass the ball out, charging at the line, not quite, hauled back from behind, should I say. And the ball, does it come loose as the Oldham players getting up? Oldham knock on, inches from the line, scrum down, Halifax head and ball. It's a bit disappointing, Gerald, at times.
Well, it's just a stop-start, isn't it? And Oldham's played literally riddled with mistakes, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. So, it's Halifax head and ball.
Current score, Oldham 0, Halifax 12.
And we've got about a minute to go to half-time. The ball's been knocked out, but it went backwards, so Halifax picked up the loose ball, and they're in possession, still in possession. The crowd booing, but if the ball loses possession and it goes backwards, it's still Halifax ball. So Halifax in possession up near their own 20, driving in. Oldham tackling good and solid at the moment, as it's needed to be throughout. A kick this time, diagonal kick, that could be a 40-20 if it's allowed to bounce. Two Oldham players picked up nicely by full-back Turner for Oldham. Oldham drives it in, but turned and pushed back 5 yards. Lapori gets it into the line, he offloads it, trying to move forward.
Oldham's 7th. That's Dave Hewitt moves the ball inside. It's off with Adam Clay. Clay goes in, jinks off his right foot, but nobody buys the dummy. Down he goes. But penalty to Oldham for holding down too long. Now you really could do with putting this ball a decent kick into touch. I'd aim for over the top of the lad with the ginger hair. Down here, Gerald, if you on the touchline.
Yeah.
He's a nice marker to aim at, going over the top. And we aim 10 yards short of him. No, we get touch 10 yards inside the Halifax half of the field. I think the half-time hooter will be going very soon. To Oldham in possession. And they're driven in, Oldham in possession, moving the ball out just up to the 20. Ball goes out into the line, long back, way back, into the goes to Turner, jinking, twisting, 10 yards short of the halfway line. The timekeeper to my left picks up the hooter. So at any moment now, ball pushed out along the line. Oldham, but thrown out. Oh my goodness, thrown out to the wing, over the winger's head. If it had been low enough, he could have caught it. Did he have a clear run to the line? It looked it to me.
Well, it was Lepori anyway.
Oh well,
who's limping?
It would have been limp.
What expected him to do with that?
Well, he couldn't jump that high. The ball was way over his head, and disappointing because the half-time hooter goes about now. Well, there we are, and the ball goes into touch, moved across field. The hooter goes for half-time, and Gerald. We started off, we were so excited those first 10 minutes or so. Oldham seemed to be playing well. We're on top of the game. And, well, that was it. They were on top of the game. You agree for that first 10, 15 minutes?
Yes, yeah. I call it white line fever. When they get near the line and they go into panic mode, and very often the panic brings on a kick. So they've kicked 3 times.
To 0. And with it all to do. So we're virtually ready to go. Gerald, if you take commentary.
Yeah, well, Halifax playing uphill this half. The current score, Oldham 0, Halifax 12 in the sunshine here at Bowerfold, Stalybridge.
I better just ask, you indicate that you can hear your headphones working all right?
No, they're not.
Oh, right.
I can just hear your voice. I can't hear you through the phones.
Right, okay, well, we'll try sort that out.
Right, play's underway. The referee didn't like it. Play's got to come back. Oh, he'd forgot to press his little button on his watch. You can't believe it. You couldn't write the script. I think play has to come back because the referee didn't click his watch. So we'll take that out of the edited highlights. Halifax about to kick off. Stephen Tyrer kicks the ball forward. It lands in front of Joyce Tyson and bounces awkwardly, but he does turn and gather it before he's tackled by 3 Halifax players. Right centre position, 10 metres away from his own try line. The ball inside to Adam Clay. Adam Clay coming forward down the hill at Bowerfold. Remember, Halifax winning 12 points to 0, and going forward, Halifax defending quite well so far. Here come Oldham. Out on the far side, Jack Spencer has the ball. It takes a whole cluster of Halifax men to stop him. Michael Ward gathers the ball. 5th tackle exactly on the halfway line. He plays his ball. The ball is with Leatherbarrow. Leatherbarrow kicks towards the left-hand touchline. It's gathered by Conor McGarth for Halifax. He brings the ball out and is tackled by 3 Oldham players. The referee says get back the full 10, which they do. Halifax bringing away, coming forward again. Warrency goes inside for the ball. Stands up, eventually stands up, plays his ball. The referee says that he's knocked on, so it's going to be head and ball to Oldham, about level with the posts. What would you say, about 30 metres away from the Halifax try line. Let's hope that the tide has turned as regards luck and Oldham run from a bit deep. Is Lepori on the pitch, David? I can't see him. Don't think he is.
I hadn't had a chance. No, he isn't.
No, he isn't. So he'd limped all his way through the first half. Anyway, here come Oldham again. It's with Oldham's Luke Adamson. They nearly try and put him into touch on the far side, which they don't quite manage. Michael Ward has the ball before he's absolutely leathered. He was standing still.
That was
when
a
he got the
well-timed
ball.
pass, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hewitt has the ball. Puts the ball.
Stop giving him the ball when they're covered.
10 metres away from the post. Oldham in possession. Oh, I thought we'd broken through there, but we hadn't quite managed it. So Gareth Owen attacking half-back. Goes on his own, spins, doesn't quite make it, but manages to get the ball out to Hewitt. Hewitt, dodging and weaving, gives the ball out. Here come Oldham. Scott Turner in from the far wing before his tackle. Fifth tackle, says the referee. I don't think it was Scott Turner. No, it wasn't.
It was
Oldham's
14.
number 14, which is Luke Adamson. And Oldham nearly make the line. Are we over here? The referee doesn't like something. He's pointed a penalty to Oldham.
And we've just had a try.
When Oldham had played advantage and scored a try. So what will Oldham do? I thought the kicking tee was coming on for a minute. The referee stops the clock. One of the, I think it's Brandon Moore for Halifax, is receiving some treatment from the physio. Water all round again, as one would expect. Gareth Owen having words with the referee.
Are you still not hearing?
Not hearing you through the mic,
Okay.
through the headphones. Say it again.
I'm just talking to you.
No, it's no different.
That's all right. Well, we'll swap headphones in a moment.
Right. So Gareth Owen has the ball. Penalty to Oldham, even though we've just crossed the try line. The referee says that's no good. Here come Oldham. 1, 2, 3. Halifax men hold the Oldham lad up, push him back away from the line. Referee calls held. Gareth Owen attacking half-back. Spins the ball to his right to Hewitt. Hewitt puts the ball to Leatherbarrow. Leatherbarrow to Turner. Turner's over the line. Turner scores a try. Oldham are back in this game. Oldham 4, Halifax 12. For once, the Oldham lads, well, I'm saying for once, for one of the few occasions, Oldham ran the ball and passed the ball, and it paid dividends. And now we've got the goal kick to come. So it'll be Scott Leatherbarrow who has the goal kick attempt. He was practicing from exactly this position before the match, and if I'm honest, he pulled everyone to the left. So let's hope that his practice paid dividends and that he's able to plonk this one between the posts. So Leatherbarrow takes some water on board, wipes his snitch, kneels the genuflecting position, puts the kicking tee down, flicks up some grass to see if there's any wind. I can tell you, Scott, there isn't. Puts the ball on the kicking tee. They used to say it was a bullet type kick when they pointed the ball at the post, as Leatherbarrow customarily does. Goes through his customary routine. The referee has stopped the clock. Leatherbarrow weighs up the situation, approaches the ball, strikes the ball, and pulls the ball to the left of the post, exactly what he did for several kicks pre-match. I thought the idea behind practicing was to get it right in the actual match, but never mind. Oldham 4, Halifax 12, back in it with a shout. So Stephen Tyrer putting the ball on the kicking tee again. The ball went in the right centre position for Oldham, if I remember, from the kick-off to this half, and it was George Tyson who gathered. We'll see what happens on this particular occasion. Tyrer strikes the ball. It's gone, and it lands in the hands of Leatherbarrow. Leatherbarrow to a lovely run by Tyler Dickinson, who makes 15 metres away from his own try line. Adam Clay come inside again, as he does so often. He'll stand up and play his ball, and Gareth Owen attacking halfback puts the ball to his right. We've crossed into the red zone of the pitch, 10 metres away from the halfway line. Here comes Michael Ward. Michael Ward running forward. We've crossed into the Halifax half of the field, centre of the field. Gareth Owen goes on his own. Fifth tackle, says the referee. A little bit of interference ignored by the referee. Here's a high kick from Scott Leatherbarrow. Warranty is under it. The fullback's under it. The fullback gathers it. That's the number 2, William Sharp. And a good run by Tyson, who does the tackling. And Halifax nearly bring the ball away in the form of Benjamin Johnston. He plays his ball. Warranty inside, looking for a gap, and is eventually tackled by Adam Clay and 2 of his compatriots. I think 3 tackles gone in this set. Warranty plays his ball. Tyra puts the ball, and what a tackle that was by Michael Ward. That's 4 gone. So Oldham up and at him again. Another good tackle. 5th tackle, says the referee. Halifax have made about 40 metres from their own try line. Here comes the kick. It's a deep kick. Who's underneath it? It's gathered by the Oldham player, who makes about 10 metres short of the halfway line. Leatherborough puts the ball inside. We nearly break through. We've crossed the halfway line. We're looking a bit more lively.
Keep it going.
Oldham again in possession, coming down the hill at Barfold. Remember, 4 points to 12. Passing the ball. Daniel Langtree takes the ball standing still, but still gains a good number of metres. Gareth Owen attacking halfback, puts the ball to his left. And that, we nearly break through in the form of play continues.
It was Ben Davis.
What's happened? It was Ben Davis. A little kick through, but I think a Halifax hand went to it, so it's going to be a dropout from underneath the posts. So all the pressure this half has been Oldham's way, but they're still behind on the scoreboard. So Halifax in no rush to get the ball kicked. Have we got a ball? Yes, it's in the hands of Tyra. Tyra drops the ball out. It's a good deep ball. It's gone towards, well, Michael Ward has it eventually. It charges forward, breaks through 1 tackle, doesn't quite break through the second. Here come Oldham again, another good run, another 10 metres gained. With looking lively at last in this half of the match. Hewitt has the ball, puts the ball forward, and it's a poor pass again. Scott Leatherborough couldn't take it. Knock on. It's going to be head and ball to Halifax. I'm afraid that Hewitt's not putting in the best of passes today, David. So for once, no water carriers come on. A little break in play, but nobody's on with the water. The referee insisting that the Oldham players get back level with the touch judges. Play's underway again. A good tackle by Oldham, 10 metres away from the halfway line, centre of the field. Halifax going up the hill at Bowerfold. Oh, it's a good run there by Oldham, by Halifax's Mitch Callaghan. Plays his ball halfway line. Here come Halifax again. Number 14, Ryan Boyle. Ryan Boyle is tackled. Halifax with about 2 tackles to go in this set. Another good run by Mitch McCallaghan. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's close enough for Jazz anyway. So here come Halifax again. It's a little kick through. Have we got an Oldham player there? It's an awkward bounce, but Oldham do gather it in the end. I think Oldham claimed for offside, but it's not given by the referee. So Oldham in possession, 10 metres away from their own try line, level with the left-hand post. Coming forward. Jack Spencer, I think, has the ball. Couldn't see his number. Gareth Owen attacking halfback, puts the ball inside to Scott Leatherborough, 10 metres away from the halfway line. Slow to stand up. He does so eventually. Here come Oldham again. 5th tackle, says the referee. What will Oldham do? Leatherborough has the ball. It's a high kick. It's a testing kick. It's going to be gathered, I think, by Halifax number 2. Indeed it is, William Sharp. But George Tyson is there to make the tackle, along with Danny Langtree. Halifax play the ball. Number 11, Shane Grady, brings it away. Is tackled by 3 Oldham players. It's knocked to the ground once more, but the referee ignores it. Number 38, Conor McGarth, takes the ball forward. 10 metres away from the halfway line, right centre position. Halifax coming forward. They've crossed into the Oldham half of the field. Is held up by Michael Ward. Plays his ball. The ball comes to the left and puts the ball inside to its supporting player. I think, did he spill the ball, David? I think it was a knock-on.
I saw the tackle was made and a ball came out.
Knock-on,
to
we'll
the
wait
side.
for the signal.
So
it is
Oldham's head
indeed
and ball.
head and ball to Oldham. Centre of the field, 5 metres inside the Oldham half. So an even spread. I think I would choose to come to the George Tyson side. He's the most likely of the 2 centres to gain ground. the water carriers on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and some for Halifax as well.
And we're 10 minutes into the second half. Score, it's Oldham 4, Halifax 12. This game's still finely balanced, isn't it?
Right. So the only try scorer in this half, David, has been me. See what you can do.
I shall sit here and watch. You've got much more chance, haven't they? What's going to try out there. But it's a very, very hot day. There are times when both teams look rather tired after the efforts of the first 40 minutes. Oldham's heading ball at this scrum. It goes the ball, comes out Oldham's side, carry it into the Halifax half. The tackle's made by 1, 2, 3, 4 Halifax players there. At the bottom of the pile gets up the Oldham attacker. And, well, we've played the ball once, and it's a 3-man tackle by Halifax again. They're racing up. They're out of the starting blocks incredibly fast. Oldham keeping the ball out. Ooh, trying to spot an Oldham player there. And I'll tell you, it's a good job the Oldham lad ducked as that arm came in. Straight from acting halfback goes Tyler. Tyler, have I got the right name? Tyson, sorry. No, I've got the wrong name somewhere. It's the temperature. I'll put that across of the thing. Into the arm.
Michael Ward is here!
If he can knock his way through, he's over the try line. Michael Ward coming at speed. Brilliant there. Came up against the fullback. Just barged through the fullback. Dived for the line. Excellent.
You said it's exactly right. The difference being, Dave, coming at speed. Nobody was going to stop him.
No, Tyson took... not Tyson. Tyson had been involved at the beginning of the move. The ball was then thrown across to Michael Ward, and Michael Ward came. He was at full pelt when he took the ball.
Literally, what is Polak's one of the Halifax players who's on his back behind the post there.
Yeah, well, that was Tyson. Not Tyson. Ward drove it in and through. There was no way that they were going to stop him, and that was from about 15 to 20 yards out that there was no way they were going to stop him.
As soon as he received the ball, you knew try, didn't you?
Well, it was a pass that looked as if it was a difficult one, because it came in at speed to Ward's body, and Ward took it at full speed into his lower half of his body, took the ball, held on to it, went through, cut through the defence like a hot knife through butter, and scored the try. I better write it down.
Current score, Oldham 8, Halifax 12, with a conversion attempt to come. And Scott Leatherbarrow will be responsible for trying to take the conversion attempt. He gets the ball on the kicking tee eventually. The Oldham team getting a round of applause, particularly Michael Ward, who's removed his headgear and is taking water on board at the moment. Here comes Leatherbarrow with the kick. 2 points to Oldham. The ball over the Bosch MG domestic stand at the bottom end of the field. Oldham 10, Halifax 12.
I like the sound of that. Can you give it me again? Oldham
10, Halifax 12.
I'll live with that. Oh, wonderful there. Then
still losing, David. But
still losing. 2 points in it. And, you know, if a team's on a roll, then they roll with the team. So it's Halifax to restart. Take a long, deep kick now.
Clay gathers the ball, brings the ball forward. Oh, what a tackle that was by the number 11, Shane Grady. He certainly felt that one.
Right, and it's Oldham in possession as we're just 11 minutes into the second half. The Oldham crowd behind the post away to our right, the end that Oldham are attacking to in full voice. The Halifax crowd has moved to the far end to the stand away to our left. Much more subdued as Oldham are in possession. Oldham get the ball to Luke Adamson, who's virtually stationary when he gets that. If he's now stationary on the floor, waiting for attention to come on.
Who is it?
That's Michael Ward, I think. Isn't that Wardy's scrum cap? Well, I thought when he went down it was a 14, which would be Luke Adamson. But then, well, he's up. He's up. The water carriers are on. It is Wardy.
Yeah.
That's his... I hardly recognise him without his head guard.
He will need attention to put his headgear back on.
Yeah, certainly. Well, what you get out of him is full-blooded effort, don't you?
We've a sight here at Barfold that's never been seen before, David.
What's that?
A parasol on the far side over there.
A parasol? Where am I looking?
To the left of the toilets.
To the left.
A parasol.
Oh, right, indeed.
Fifth tackle, says the referee. Play continues.
No,
Michael Ward is substituted, and Adam Neal comes back on.
So a high kick taken by the fullback, but Tyson comes charging up and takes him. Actually, if Tyson had kept him standing up then, I think he could have had him back behind his own try line. But Oldham pinned the Halifax back inside their own, 10-metre line. Gets up, plays the ball inside to the ginger-haired lad for Halifax. He drives in, but Oldham's tackling's good. 3 tackles have gone.
Well, it's more like the atmosphere we created against Old Kingston Rovers last week, David.
That's right, yeah. And the players are responding accordingly at the moment. I think it's all about momentum, and if you've got momentum going with you, you're doing all right. 5th tackle, says the referee. The Oldham player, the referee ignored, I think there was an attempt to get a penalty.
Well, who's under that?
Nobody's going to be under it. It bounces away, and it's been taken cleanly, but thrown out the back door by the referee has penalised Oldham for...
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. For what? Well, he's coming...
brought it all the way back here.
Brought it back down. I can't think... What happened here? And he reversed his decision. Reversed his decision. It must have been the touch judge that had called the penalty. The referee came down to where the touch judge was lined up, and then they must have said to him, the other way, ref.
But it's not given a signal why. We don't know why, David.
Oldham going for the 2 points.
2 points.
So, Leatherbarrow must fancy it more from out here.
I'll ask the gentleman to my right, David, what he thinks it was for, if you can continue talking.
I can't talk and write.
Oh, you're writing as well, are you? Well, all right, Leatherbarrow about to take the conversion attempt. Just inside the red zone. Is looking at the ball. Oldham, I hope, we're going to follow the ball through in case it hits the upright. Things haven't been known to do that in the past. He strikes the ball. Is it good? Yes, it is. So Oldham 12, Halifax 12. So all the points have come Oldham's way this half, David.
Right, and long may it continue. By the way, who's been on commentary while we've got these points?
You have.
Oh, they're mine.
Well,
then.
no, I scored one of them early on.
Get off with you. So it's Halifax to restart. Oldham are on a bit of a roll at the moment. Halifax taking the time with the kicking team. It's the Halifax number 3 to restart the game. Stephen Tyrer kicks long and deep. Oldham take it just short of their own try line, turn it in field, drive forward, high tackles. Well, tackles of players stood up, so anyway, the tackle made down to the ground. Oldham play the ball, come charging in. Is there a way through? Not on that occasion for Adam Clay, but he got a good clearance of his lines. Now driving forward again. Ooh, good tackle thrown to the side as Oldham make it almost up to 10 yards short of the halfway line. They're there again. Fast acceleration as they get possession of the ball into the line, twist around and dump to the ground. Oldham ready. Halifax players moving up a little bit early, but now ball come out to this near side. There's an overlap. Tyson gets the ball. Can Tyson do anything? Steps inside, gets the ball in field. A forward pass right in front of the referee. It was awful, really, because Oldham was through.
Definitely a forward pass
thrown. It was clearly seen as a forward pass. Scrum down, and that was really players getting a bit too excited because there was enough players in the line to get. There was only one defender that needed to be bypassed, and I'm afraid the attackers got too far in front.
We want Oldham to win. We're supporting Oldham, David. That was clearly forward. So
yeah, well. Anyway, so the ball's gone into the scrum, come out Halifax side, as you would expect, and the referee's spot on with that particular decision, even though it breaks our heart to say it, but it was a forward pass.
Play continues
made by, giving credit to
Joyce Tyson,
yeah, who
Leatherbarrow was in support.
Yeah, well, we had players in support. We had more players in support than when we needed, but unfortunately, we got a bit overexcited and ran ahead of the ball. So Halifax is still in possession. They're 10 yards inside the Oldham half of the field. Coming into the line, the number 11 has thrown the ball out, and the referee's giving Oldham's head and ball.
for that, quite rightly, because the Halifax man, I think he tried to get a penalty for having the ball raked out of his hands there, Gerald.
But it was only one man in the tackle, I think.
But it wasn't that so much as the fact that it wasn't raked out by an Oldham hand.
Well, even if he had, if there's only one fella there, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of us had better speak, Dave, with it being radio.
I was trying to figure out your... I was trying to figure out what you were... anyway, the ball's gone into the scrum, come out, Oldham are in possession, but the tackle just inside their own half. Halifax sent back 12 all. Oldham 12, Halifax 12. Scores on the doors. Oldham in possession, driven into the Halifax half. On the far side of the... The ball's come rolling out. And what on earth are we giving here? Because we...
Well, he knocked on.
But
simple and forward.
But it's Halifax head and ball.
Eh?
Halifax head and ball.
I know, because the Oldham lad knocked on.
Well, yeah, but the thing that I was saying was that the Oldham player had been well tackled and had been on the ground for quite some time.
It's his responsibility to keep hold of the ball, David, and he didn't. It wasn't raked.
No, they'll be fighting in the crowd, eh? Behave yourselves, you lot. I'm trying to do a radio commentary. I don't know. You have trouble with the spectators here. They're just too clever by far. So anyway, Halifax are in possession. They're up to the red line, 10 yards inside the Oldham half. Come across, ball out towards this their left-hand side. Driving in some good, attempted runs. There was 3 Oldham players, but they're all high at that moment. None of them have gone round the player's leg. Gets up, plays the ball. Halifax in possession. Dumped to the ground. And... Halifax 10-15 yards short of the Oldham try line. Coming up to this near side. There's 2 men on the wing at this far side. Oldham need to get it. Attempted shielding there by Oldham. I think it was Owen, but
Adam Clay.
I always get Owen and Clay mixed up. But a good job he kicked it into touch, because I don't think there was any way to be able to shield that from the advancing attacker. So it's Oldham to drop out from between the posts.
With an Oldham player down.
The referee
Can't see who it is.
Stop the clock. Which I forgot to start.
The other players shielded by it's George Tyson. He gets up, staggers his way back to the try line. He'll have to be behind it for the dropout.
So if you'll take over commentary for a minute, Gerald, while I try and find out how much time I missed by not starting my watch.
Right. So Oldham dropped the ball out. Well, it's a fair enough kick, that. It's well into the Halifax half of the field. It's gathered by William Sharp, who puts the ball inside to his prop forward, Mitch Cahillane, who's tackled 10 metres inside the Oldham half of the field. The ball goes to the Halifax right-hand side. Another good tackle by Oldham. They make hardly any ground at all. The referee calls held. Play continues. Number 1 is in Benjamin Johnston. And Halifax on the break here. And they're going across the line in the form of William Sharp, and he goes all the way underneath the posts. So it's Oldham 12, Halifax 16 at the moment. A break by Halifax, and the actual try scored by William Sharp, who is number 2 in his back, but is playing full-back. So a really easy conversion, exactly underneath the posts. Oldham gathered underneath the posts, which they ought not to be these days. They have to be either to one side or the other, unless they've changed the laws of the game recently. You can't stand there, boys. We've still got players standing there. If the referee is... No, they've moved eventually. Because if the referee is a stickler, he could penalise them and give them another kick. I remember that actually happening to Oldham at Keighley the first week that they introduced the rule.
Oh, well.
Are you back with us, David?
I gave you commentary, and what did you do? Who scored?
I know it cost us a try.
It's your turn now.
Go to the end of the match then.
No, it's your turn.
So it's Tyra with the conversion attempt to make it Oldham 12, Halifax 18.
He takes his time.
He does indeed.
16 minutes of the second.
And he kicks it over the Lockwood and Greenwood stand at the top end of the field. So Oldham have done all the pressing in this half, well, nearly all the pressing in this half, and they're still ahead on the scoreboard in this half, but in reality they're behind on the scoreboard overall, to the tune of Oldham 12, Halifax 18, with Oldham about to take the kick-off.
Right,
The referee stops the clock again.
See how much that's taken out of the Oldham team, because we were massively outflanked on this side, weren't we?
No, I'm encouraged by the attitude though this half, David. Plays underway again, a high kick by Turner. It's gathered by Halifax's number 1, and that's Benjamin Johnston, who puts it inside to one of his forwards, who's tackled 12 metres out from his own try line. Oh, Oldham were quickly up there. I thought there was a chance for an interception. They were up that quickly. Play continues. Halifax with the ball on the far side of the field, right centre position, about 30 metres away from the halfway line. Here come Halifax again, about to cross into the red zone before they're tackled by the Oldham contingent. Play the ball. They come to the left-hand side. It's the big number 8, Mitch Callahane. I keep saying his name incorrectly. 5th tackle, says the referee. The ball's going to be kicked. It's a high kick by the number 6, which is Scott Morrell. Oldham are underneath it. They gather it cleanly, bring the ball away from their own try line, nearly break the tackle, don't quite make it. So coming down the hill, 6 points behind. Oldham in possession in the red and white hoops against Halifax in the lime green and black. The Halifax man is down. He was about to be interfered with play, so the referee has stopped the clock. The Halifax man who's down is the number 8, Mitch Callahane. That's
you've been practicing.
No, I haven't got a clue how to say it, but nobody can see the word except me, so we're quite happy. So what are we on about? The 3rd tackle in this set. The water carrier's on again in numbers. We keep saying it's a hot day, but it can't be exaggerated too much, David, can it? Agree with me, David?
I was just thinking, sorry, I'm trying to work out
you were
timings
thinking,
here.
were you?
It's a slow process on a hot day. So 16 and a half minutes to go.
Right, thank you for that. And players stop because there's a Halifax player, Mitch Callahane, who's sitting on his rump in the middle of the field. Eventually gets up. Oh, he's all right. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. They've just put his leg back on and play continues. Oldham in possession. Coming down the field. Adam Clay with the ball. He's dumped to the ground. Oldham choose to go to the short side. Oh, what a terrible pass again. Oh, some of the passing has been, poor. Let's just say poor.
That's one 4-letter word to describe it.
So it to be scrum down, hand and ball to Halifax.
Get that mic nearer your mouth.
Oh. I don't want to swallow it. Right. The ball is out to the scrum, and it comes to Halifax. Number 3, that's Tyra, goes forward, tackled by Langtree. Continues to go forward, makes good yards forward despite the attention of several Oldham players. Coming forward again. I think if Halifax score another try, Dave, it's good night Vienna, I'm afraid.
I think you could be right.
And they're threatening to do so, and they are going to do so. Straight from acting half-back. The number 17, I think, was Brandon Moore, literally on a diagonal run, cut through the Oldham defence as if it wasn't there, plonks the ball down underneath the posts. Halifax going to another 4 points into the lead. So it's going after this kick, it'll be Halifax 24, Oldham 12. Because I'm absolutely certain that Tyra will convert it.
Is it Moore, did you say?
Brandon Moore, I think. Yeah. So Tyra's going to have the ball underneath the post, ready to convert it again. And what have we got to look forward to? Hopefully 2 points against Dewsbury on Wednesday, because I think the 2 points are beyond us today, David, unfortunately. And the Halifax...
Well, the difference being in the last, 5 minutes or so, Halifax lads have suddenly accelerated into the attack. Straight from acting halfback on a couple of occasions that we've been caught short wide out. They've gone through the first line of defence, and there hasn't been a second line of defence there.
Yeah.
Disappointing, because Oldham had played, other than the foolish mistakes, and it could just be sheer tiredness that's crept in. There goes the kick. Up go the touch judges' flags. It's Oldham
12, Halifax 24. With about 15 minutes to go, we think. So 15 minutes to pull it round. So Scott Leatherborough has the ball on the kicking tee. What will he choose to do? It's been they've done high kicks in the past, and they've been really well gathered by the Halifax players. We'll see what happens on this occasion. A little 10-metre kick and Oldham regathered. Perhaps we have a little bit of that in our locker. Do we? No, yes, that's what they're trying. And it is indeed gathered by Oldham. Number 19, Joe Burke has it. And he breaks through a couple of tackles. So the referee says we've got 6 to go. Oh, another shocking pass. With 6 tackles to go in an Oldham set. And they throw out such a poor pass, which inevitably is knocked to ground. Halifax will take the time and scrum down.
It was an opportunity there, and a stupid pass. The problem was the player receiving the ball was ending up worrying where the tacklers were that were about to come clattering into him. He thought, but there wasn't anybody there. Oh, dear me.
The ball was at his toes anyway, David.
Well, yes.
So, Halifax in possession. Let's hope that we can pray on a mistake from them, but it doesn't seem likely.
A missed tackle.
Tyler breaks through the Oldham defence. It's 10 metres inside the Oldham half of the field. They're looking really lively now, our Halifax. Wrestled to the ground by Oldham's Tyler Dickinson. Interfering at the play of the ball. A penalty to Halifax. I'm suggesting they'll go for goal and make sure that Oldham have to score 3 times. That's exactly what they're going to do. So
it's incredibly frustrating.
Indeed.
Because silly little mistakes creeping into the Oldham's performance and detracting from what's been a good performance overall. You suddenly get sort of stupid things. We get the ball from our restart and we give it away. We make a hash of passing the ball.
Oh, yeah. Words fail you at times. Because we're so desperate to want Oldham to do well.
Well, Oldham desperately do need to do well. We're getting to the very sharp end of the season, and we're playing well. We played well last week against OKR, but just got pipped. We've played well today, but we're going to get pipped. Well, unless something drastic happens in the next 10 minutes or so. Here comes the kick. Tyler hits it. Up go the touch judges' flags.
So the current score, Oldham 12, Halifax 26. As the shadow of an aircraft goes over the Bowerfold grass. 2 balls on the pitch. The referee will have to get rid of one of them. No, it's gone to the other side. So Scott Leatherborough puts the ball on the kicking tee. We tried a short one a few moments ago. It's the same again. It's a high kick. It's gathered again by Oldham. Oh, my word. Dave Hewitt took his time gathering the ball. Anyway, Oldham have the ball. Coming forward, Adam Neal. He'll stand up and play his ball, which he does. And Oldham, Joyce Tyson was unable to gather the ball, but it falls to Adam Clay, who goes inside. So Kenny Hughes attacking halfback, puts the ball, a long ball to Leatherborough. Leatherborough puts the ball inside to a supporting forward. We're 20 metres away from the Halifax line with the ball in hand. Here comes Danny Linetree. Langtree flicks the ball out, and Halifax gather the ball again. And I'm afraid
Kenny Hughes, ball thrown into his chest. He just wasn't ready for it. Bounced out. Knock on. Scrum down.
And the crowd are getting onto the Oldham team's backs, and in one sense you can't blame them, David.
But at the same time, it's got to be mentioned that Halifax are, if you like, a team that's challenging to try get into the top four. Whereas we're trying to get out of the top, bottom four. That was what?
Well, surely that was our aspiration at the beginning of the season.
To try, yes.
To match Halifax at least.
Right, you're on commentary.
I know.
A minute to go of your commentary.
Just that? Is that all?
Yeah.
Here come Halifax again. And Adam Neal does a high tackle. I think we might have a fight with George Tyson first in, and it wouldn't be as peacemaker, knowing George. If somebody rattles George's cage, he's always the first one across there.
Well, the trouble is that you get to situations like this, and when Oldham go like that, when Oldham lose it, then you know that they don't think that they've got chance of winning anything from this game.
So Halifax take the kick. He puts the ball over the stand on the far side of the field. So they'll restart just inside the 10-metre zone of the Oldham half, and they run forward and gain another 10 metres in the right wing position. Halifax lying really deep as if they're ready to spread the ball across the field.
And with around 8 minutes to go, Gerald, I'll take you out of your misery.
Thank you.
Halifax in possession. They're driving through, up to the fullback. Oldham's fullback takes them down nicely, stops that going through. But, now a penalty conceded. Dear me, right in front of the post, so it's another 2 points if Halifax want to take it. Oldham needing 3 scores at the moment. I think Halifax will go for the tap. They do go for the tap. Turn the ball in field, drive towards the post, the secondary drive, and Oldham just held them back. Right, Halifax though in possession, right in front of the post. Gets up, plays the ball. Ball quickly thrown out to this near side. There's an overlap there. It's thrown out to the winger. The winger checks inside. Oldham dances across the front of the Oldham defensive line, and eventually we get him when he comes back into the middle in front of the post. So Oldham needed to do some defending. Ball thrown out a long way to the far side. They offloaded the ball. They're over the try line. Did they get the ball down? Held on his back, says the referee. Whew. And it'll be Halifax with coming back 10 yards to restart. Back to the referee to play the ball out, 10 yards out, drive towards the post, a deep pass, a little grubber kick through. Oldham drop on that loose ball. Oldham are in possession. The referee has penalised Oldham for
I think the instinct with the lad who kicked the ball, David, after he's signalled a shoulder charge.
A shoulder charge?
Perhaps on the lad who kicked it.
Right. Okay, well, I didn't see it, so I can't pass comment whatsoever. I'd followed the ball, but fortunately the referee didn't. A tap taken by Halifax. They've tapped in, drive towards the Oldham post, inches short of the try line, picked it up. They're over the try line if they can get the ball to ground. On his back again, so back out goes the ball. Halifax to 10 yards out. They love this because it's winding down the clock to the end of the match. A tap to be the ball played, moved across to the far side. Drive coming in at speed from the wing. Halifax, good diagonal runs being made here, so that if you don't take the player, they're through. So Halifax move the ball out to the wing. There's an overlap over that side. I can't see us keeping us out, was what I was about to say, and they didn't. So keep your eye on who came up from the bottom of that pile of players and who's getting the congratulations for Halifax. They go further into the lead.
So it'll be Oldham 12, Halifax 30. 5 minutes to go still. And a conversion attempt to come, which will be Stephen Tyrer, who's certainly brought his kicking boots with him today. But this is possibly the most difficult kick he's had over on the far side of the field, just in the little bit of shade that there is at Bowerfold today with an interchange for Oldham. Michael Ward is coming on. Obviously doesn't need to go behind the posts. He's going to go to the centre of the field. Didn't see who was interchanged with him. I think it might have been Burke. Tyrer has the ball over on the far side, about to take the conversion attempt. It goes through an awfully long routine, Tyrer, doesn't he? Anyway, he will kick the ball eventually. I am assured of that. Yeah, he does. Strikes the ball. Is it good? No, it's just to the left of the post. The touch judges wave it away. The score remains Oldham 12, Halifax 30.
With 5 minutes to go. Or slightly less than 5 minutes to go by now. Disappointing, I've got to say, that, you know, up till perhaps 10-15 minutes inside the second half, it was looking good for Oldham, and then either tiredness got onto them. The ball's been short kick. Oldham have picked up the loose ball. We're passing the ball, but not certain it does any good when you just go round in a circle. No, ball driven forward. Michael Ward's back on. Barges through one tackle. It was his score earlier on that gave us hope for Oldham. A penalty given. As they're holding down, Oldham tap the ball. Michael Ward drives forward, but scores on the doors. Oldham 12 points, Halifax 30, and Oldham being driven back at the moment outside the 20. Gets up to play the ball, and I think Oldham convincingly beaten today. By the time we get to the end of the map, the ball. Well, ball being played. What's the referee? Hang on. The referee's given a scrum down. Oldham's head and ball. Now, I'm not certain why. Oldham passed the ball.
Volleyball with each other, weren't they?
That's right. Oldham passed the ball. The Halifax player jumped up, touched it. It was knocked out of his arms. It was then volleyballed about, shall we say. And I think the referee decided it was a knock-on. The first knock-on came from Halifax. So it's Oldham's head and ball. Ball goes into the scrum, picked up, moved out towards the Oldham left. Into the line has come Oldham's number 3. No way through for him on that occasion. George Tyson. The ball's come out loose. It's somewhere downfield.
Well, the referee called held before Tyson parted with it, so it goes.
Oh my giddy aunt!
Goes back to the play ball and another poor pass and another knock on.
Yep, and that was on the. That would be the first pass, wouldn't it? The first tackle. Dear me.
Second.
Well, Chris Hamilton last week was disappointed and said that the players had beaten themselves through knock-ons and not concentrating. I don't know whether I dare ask him that question today, Gerald. Anyway.
Well, whatever you do, don't leave me talking for 20 minutes.
No. Well, we'll play some music, I think, at the end.
I think so.
As Halifax get that ball from the scrum off him somehow, they've just run downfield. The ball's been come out. Oldham have picked up the loose ball. It's Michael Ward. Drives in as only Michael knows how to do. Gets up, plays his ball. Oldham are 10 yards inside the Halifax half of the field, but Oldham tackled easily on the first tackle. Gets up, plays the ball. Opens up here. Oh my God. Goes to Tyson, who picked up the ball. Don't go near the touchline, George. Well, he has done it. Handed off one, but then thrown to the ground by his opposite number. That's the number 3 for Halifax. The try scorer, Stephen Tyrer, and goal kicker. Tyson's injured in the process of that. Comes to get up. The physio comes on. And Tyson's down, and well, you can't blame him for being a bit motivated to do something there, Gerald, but it's just not happening for Oldham today.
No, indeed.
So we'll just wait, really. The Oldham crowd that were in such voice half an hour ago, such good voice half an hour, 20 minutes ago, begin to move off from behind the post to our right, the stand there. As play the ball. Ball goes inside. We're now going for a kick somewhere, nowhere near the far corner, and we leave it for Halifax to gather cleanly, and then we get the tackle in, And then to save any further embarrassment, the full-time hooter goes, leaving us with a final score here at Bowerfold of Oldham 12, Halifax 30 points, and I think we feel a bit deflated, Gerald, at the way it all ended, really.
I think more than a bit deflated, Dave. Just so frustrating, time and time again, with poor passes and poor choices near the try line.
But is some of that caused by the fact that we've got a very, very hot day here? And I know we can say, well, both teams are playing in the same temperature.
Poor passes aren't caused by hot weather, Dave.
No, they could be caused by exhaustion and tiredness creeping into the players that makes it so that...